Rise and Grind DMV, happy Saturday. We are waking up to a mixture of sun and clouds, and overall your holiday weekend forecast not looking bad at all. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast up next.
This morning on DC News Now, Labor Day weekend, it's underway. People hitting the roads, the skies, and the rails. And the DC law enforcement takeover by the federal government continues. But could there be an extension? A bill that would extend presidential control over DC police. And we share as a community in Minnesota is mourning the loss of 2 students after a school shooting.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now this Saturday morning. I'm Haley Mylon. Let's take a live look outside right now. 8 o'clock is your time. Oh, there's Roslyn looking great. All those folks just waking up this morning, this Saturday morning, for a beautiful day ahead. If you don't have plans to get outdoors, you should look into that because, Brittany, oh my gosh, the temps, they are mwah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Feels like fall this morning. I mean, obviously we left our house at like the crack of dark, so it was a little chilly, but we have started to see those temperatures warming up. Still though, feeling like fall across the region. Those temperatures right now have started to warm into the 50s across much of the area. Still seeing some 40s on the map. 45 currently there in Woodstock. We're sitting at 53 degrees though. As you head over there to Hagerstown, closer to the district though, we're seeing those temperatures in the lower 60s. So definitely a cooler start to our morning, and those winds are a bit breezy out there. We're seeing that northwesterly flow that's pumping in some of the cooler air we felt this morning. Winds right now gusting upwards to about 16 miles per hour in DC, 17 as you head over there to Lexington Park. We're seeing lighter winds though as you head back off to the north and west, and in the higher elevation you guys could be waking up to some patchy fog due to those light winds. So keep that in mind if you are heading out and about. Today though, we are going to be holding on to that mixture of sun and clouds through the rest of your Saturday. Below average temperatures expected, and it looks like that's going to continue through the holiday weekend. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that 8-day Haley up next.
Thank you so much, Brittany. We'll check in with you once again in just a little bit. People heading out the door to catch their flights, trains, and hitting the road for Labor Day holiday travel is underway. Travelers we talked to are showing up ahead of schedule for their flights and their trains, and drivers getting on the road during the early hours of the day to avoid traffic. As you try to get to your destination on time, remember to be patient and stay safe. We went to Union Station, a rest stop in Virginia, and we spoke to flyers at DCA. Now, some people, they're visiting family, others taking a short weekend getaway. They're reminding their fellow travelers to pack smart, expect delays, and to best beat the rush back, leave early.
Actually did show up early today, got all of our stuff, traveling pretty lightly.
Oh, I got here pretty early, and as expected, you know, the train's running late. So.
It's a little hectic, but it's also exciting just to get away and relax some.
We kind of left early, but it's still going to be traffic regardless.
Since school just started, we got a little bit of a later start, but so far it's been good.
Driving back on Labor Day, AAA says to leave before noon. The worst time to be on the roads is between 1 and 4 p.m. Developing now, some in D.C. say they've seen less crime because of the youth curfew that's been in place this summer. It's the last weekend of the current extended hours. This was the scene yesterday in Navy Yard, a spot that's seen several of these extended curfews, which begin earlier than the regular curfew over the summer. The area has been a problem spot in the past, with hundreds of kids and teens causing chaos. Our Daniel Hamburg takes a look at the issue and where things stand now.
The Juvenile Curfew Emergency Amendment Act of 2025 took effect on July 7th. Everyone 17 and younger not allowed outside from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 7 days a week.
It helped a little bit, and it was nice. There were no brawls or anything like that.
Neighbors in Navy Yard appreciate the district preventing more chaos we saw earlier in the year.
For the most part, I thought it was pretty good once they put it into place. I mean, It's a shame, though, because, I mean, you got to give these kids something to do.
Police Chief Pamela Smith also established extended curfew zones that started at 8 p.m. Those moved around to different neighborhoods across the district, including 3 different weekends in Navy Yard.
I really think it helped. They should keep it a little longer, make people feel a little more safe.
Friday night, National Guard members were out patrolling, something Tim Marion says is overkill.
Because the national game is here, they're out here, but the last 4 days, the National Guard hasn't even been over here because it's really, you know, that there's not really that much that happens in this part of the Navy Yard these days.
Others don't have an issue.
DC is pretty wild, but, you know, with the guards being here, it helped a lot. You know, people can walk freely, think freely, speak freely, whatever.
That was Daniel Hamburg reporting there. Well, new details in a story that we first brought you on Thursday night. ATF Washington saying they intervened and prevented a potential school shooting. ATF and Metro Transit Police now telling us they found an alarming social media post citing a potential threat to a D.C. public school. They seized these weapons on Wednesday and arrested a juvenile. Now, we brought this to D.C. public schools, and a spokesperson told us they're not currently tracking any D.C. public school students who've been apprehended. The investigation is ongoing. Now to the latest on the D.C. law enforcement takeover. President Trump's emergency orders taking control of the district are set to expire on September 10th. Republicans are signaling support for an extension through new legislation. A bill would extend presidential control over D.C. police from 30 days to 180 days during an emergency, and it would apply to the current order that we're under. While D.C. police data show that crime is down since the surge of federal agents in D.C., some D.C. leaders, including Councilmember Brianne Nadeau, argue that an extension would be problematic.
We have a military occupation in our nation's capital, and the president is simply doing a dress rehearsal here. He has already said that he is coming to other cities with these tactics. This is dictator behavior.
For the latest updates on the D.C. takeover of law enforcement, visit dcnewsnow.com. As the crime crackdown continues, legal experts say judges, defense attorneys, and grand jurors are poking holes in many of the cases that they're seeing. Earlier this week, a grand jury decided not to indict a man who allegedly threw a sandwich at a federal agent. Federal prosecutors dropped another case this week after complaints that police illegally searched a man's satchel and found a gun. A U.S. district judge called it, without a doubt, the most illegal search he'd ever seen in his life. And during a hearing on Wednesday, the same judge said, quote, "I've seen things over the past 72 hours that I've never seen in federal court," adding it feels like some bizarre nightmare. The White House claiming more than 1,200 people have been arrested and 135 guns have been seized since August 7th. But just more than 30 people arrested this month have been charged in district court. The Associated Press found half of them are charged with assaulting officers, federal agents, or National Guard members. That includes 3 people arrested for spinning on them. The rest are charged with illegally possessing guns, drugs, or both. And now to Minneapolis, where community members are reeling over this week's school shooting. 2 children killed are now identified as 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel and 10-year-old Harper Moisky. Here on your screen, their faces. Now, some of the other victims have been released from the hospital. Officials say a child remains in critical condition. 18 victims total were injured, 15 of them children. The local chief of EMS says during the incident, kids were protecting each other.
A lot of maybe unrecognized heroes in this event, along with the children that were protecting other children, which is really amazing to hear about. I might be saying too much, but we had one kid that covered up another kid and took a shotgun blast to his back.
Merkel was described by his family as a boy who loved family, fishing, cooking, and sports. Moisky's family says she was joyful and bright. In Maryland, an investigation is underway after an 11-year-old was killed during a house fire in Wicomico County. It happened after 4 a.m. on Zion Road on Friday near Parker Farms in Parsonburg. Officials say 3 adults were able to get out, but were told the 11-year-old was still inside when they got there. Despite rescue efforts, the boy died at the scene. The exact cause of the fire still under investigation. They believe it started in the back of the home. Also in Maryland, attorneys for Kilmar Abrego Garcia are asking a federal judge to issue a gag order against the Trump administration in his human smuggling case. The request, filed on Thursday in Tennessee, comes after Abrego Garcia is released from custody as he awaits trial on these charges. And you'll remember Abrego Garcia is the man who was wrongly deported to El Salvador back in March. Now, his lawyers argue that negative comments from top officials, including Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and others, as well as posts on social media from DHS, could jeopardize Abrego Garcia's right to a fair trial. New in the district, DC's annual September celebration 202 Creates Month begins on Monday. City leaders kicking off the inaugural 202 Creates Con, which is a one-day experience focusing on creativity and entertainment in the nation's capital.
Is about sustaining and growing also our creative businesses, supporting our venues, and keeping people working and thriving and continue to move and start their businesses in DC. So over many years, our creative economy has grown from a $3 billion industry to a $15 billion economic engine.
Events will take place throughout the month and wrap up on September 25th with the Mayor's Arts Awards. All right, Brittany, the unofficial end to the summer. Labor Day weekend is here, and with that, a lot of those pools, they're going to be closing on Monday.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I still have not been to my apartment pool this summer. I can't believe it. So if you plan on hitting the pools today, maybe I'll actually hit the pool today. We'll see. I'll give you an update tomorrow. It's not going to be a bad forecast across the entire area. Yes, we are going to kickstart your Saturday off with a mixture of sun and clouds. Those clouds really will be hanging out most of the day today, but notice those temperatures by 11 a.m. still on the cooler side, struggling to get out of the upper 60s, lower 70s to talk about right around lunchtime, and we can't rule out a light breeze across the area. Then as we head through the second half of our afternoon, that's when we finally start to see more peaks of sunshine with highs today below average, struggling to get out of the 70s. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that cool temperatures coming up.